Okay.
Yeah. Talking about a quote from William Kennard, chairman of the board of AT&T, speaking to NSA last summer. He said, codify, CODIFY, your wisdom and experience. What that means to me is capture it so that you can share it. But it also means, like, if you want to know how some algorithm works, read the code. In other words, drill down to the absolute smallest, lowest level where you can see these characters in this sequence only, with this one capitalized and not the others, and so forth. So every little nano bit fits. When I look at the acorn and I start talking about that, I can talk half an hour just about the meaning and symbolism of the acorn. So look at Inspiritus in your case and do the same thing. Codify your wisdom and knowledge, get it down to the granular level and then out to the macro level and look at it from both angles. And then document it, capture it, and books, articles, speeches, videos, name it. And quotes. Oh, you're aware of this. Some of the others might not be. Brian Orton and Janelle Workington, they created a whole bunch of memes for me. I'm going to find them here just a second to give an example on screen of what I'm talking about. I'll do a screen share. Here we go. The memes that they created. This was my effort to codify my own wisdom and knowledge, to take, I'm going to see if I can just increase the size of this, and I'm going to scroll through them. You see what I've got? I just take the topic and an image and put my quote in there. And the reason I did this initially was I wanted to see my quotes showing up all over the place, because I was tired of having people that I was the teacher of being quoted and me being not noticed at all. So my ego was getting in the way. Anyway, I did all this and they created all these wonderful memes for me. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on. You can see that there are easily a few hundred of them. But if you think about it, I could take all those memes and create a book.
Right.
And it wouldn't take much at all. I'm going to get down here to
That's
Jim.
like a great, if they enjoy it, that's a great business model for them to do for people.
Yeah, and I think you could sell them. You could sell subscriptions where someone buys the right, like they buy photos, the right to use, and they buy the right to use, let's say, 52 or 365 of your memes to put into their system to feed to their people. So there's more and more of mine, popping right along. And Janelle did a different treatment than Brian did. And of course, it finally started paying off. My quote was on the wall in the Philippines. You remember me mentioning that?
Yeah.
That was so cool. Kate Hancock sent me a photo of herself standing by the wall of the shopping center. Big pictures of hot air balloons. And it says, aim high. The future you see reveals the person you'll be. Jim Cathcart. Yeah.
That's
In
so
the
awesome.
Philippine, what is the Philippine Police Department, their police academy, they used the same quote as a recruiting quote. Join
Wow.
the academy, aim high. The future you see reveals the person you'll be.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then months before, I had learned, someone sent me a clip of a newspaper in England or a blog or something, a news article. And it was featuring a cheerleading team from a high school or a college in Leeds, England. Same quote.
Wow.
And I wouldn't even have considered that one of my big quotes. I would have thought the daily question, how would the person I'd like to be? That would be one of my biggies. Or uh, come with me and let's discover how much more successful you can be. Uh, you never know. It goes back to the idea of branding. What's your brand? Well, we don't know. Only our viewers, observers know, and they can tell us what our brand is.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So getting it out in the marketplace, letting them determine which is most powerful or impactful. Yeah, that's
Zachary.
great. Zachary.
Zachary. By the way, I've got a speech coming up soon in Austin, June 6th and 7th. I'm gonna speak on the 7th, and it's downtown Austin. And this is for the Speaking Consulting Network. So it's an entity that serves a group of people who are speakers, consultants, advisors, trainers, like us. And they focus primarily on the dental marketplace or dental profession, like the group I spoke to in
Mhm.
Phoenix recently, Vanessa Emerson's group, Dental Speakers Institute. But this is a separate entity. So anyway, they were confirming details with me, and they said, hey, tell us about the audiovisual needs you have. And by the way, here's our stage. And the stage, they sent me a photo of how the stage is going to look. And it's a Western scene, like out of a movie, a cowboys and horses Western scene. And I said, well, can I dress Western? And they said, oh, please. I said, so I can wear boots and jeans and buckle and hat and Western shirt. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's so
And then
cool.
I said, one more. Can I bring my guitar? And they said, absolutely. So I'm going to get up on stage that day. I'm going on Thursday night to their reception, Friday to their banquet. Paula's probably going with me. I'll be wearing a coat, maybe a coat and tie. Anyway, they won't see me in Western wear until the next morning when I'm introduced. And when I come up on stage, I'm going to come, full Western and hat included. And then when the sound dies down, I'm going to walk over and grab a guitar. And then I'm going to start off with something like, blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots, and do low places or something that the audience can
Yeah,
sing along with.
relate to.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just get them engaged that way and then set the guitar aside, do my talk, and then pick it up again and do something like the Ballad of the Alamo. Because most of the people won't be from Texas.
Yeah.
And so that'll be a fun way to conclude the thing.
Oh, that's awesome. What a
Yeah.
nice
And
surprise.
they're thrilled about it. And I said, well, since sound check's going to be on Friday afternoon, I don't want to have to come down there and find a place for my guitar and then attend the dinner and then go get my guitar and come back home, come back the next morning. Can you get me a room? And they said, yeah. And they booked it and sent me the reservation a moment ago. So I'm going to go downtown Austin and stay at the Hilton Hotel where I'm speaking. So that'll be a cool gig.
Very. Yeah, congrats.
And did you see my announcement about Austin as the summit?
Yeah, the 8th through the
11,
10th, 12th,
8, 9, 10, 11.
11th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
8th
Sunday,
through-
the
yeah.
same as before, 5 o'clock Sunday till after lunch Wednesday. But this time your commute won't be as long.
Yeah, no kidding. That'll be easy.
And
I don't mind it.
I'm going to do the whole thing downtown, I think,
Okay.
because there's some really fun things to do down there. They got boats on the water. They've got all kinds of great restaurants and clubs and things like that. And they've got speakeasies.
I love
You go in a
speakeasies.
private door and you go downstairs and
I love those.
So
There's,
I think-
I try to go whenever I go into a place that I can stay an extra day, whatever state I'm in, or even if I'm overseas, I try to find those. I
Yeah.
try to connect with people that know the cool ones to go to and how to get in. I love
Yeah.
speakeasies.
And
They're
then
so
I've got
chill.
some inside connections through John Mitchell with the University of Texas.
Very cool.
Campus is right there. And I've also got some connections with the governor's office and the state capitol's right there. So, there are a lot of right there's that we could do downtown and make this a very special event.
Nice.
Oh, also there's a podcast studio that is on the Texas Bankers Association building, 10th floor, across the 8th floor, across the street from the state capitol. And so when you're in the podcast studio, the windows behind you, one half a block away is the Texas State Capitol, which is awesome. And so
Yeah.
that can be, I can book that space for just a few $100s, as long as it's not for a long time. And so we'll be able to use that podcast studio and create some pretty awesome individual footage.
Very
It
cool.
could be just you and someone else, or me interviewing you, or, it could be anything you want.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I know, shame on me. I need to reach out to somebody on our team that we met at the last summit to help me at least post like my CPE designation and get the picture or whatever. I'm sure somebody
Yeah.
took a picture of us together. I need to get on that because I haven't done anything with it. I've been running since before I got to there, and then after
Yeah.
I'm finally in a place where I can take a breath. So
Well, take a look at what John Kovach did and what Eric Swanson did, and who else?
yeah, I saw some of those. And
Yeah.
David,
Yeah.
I
Just use
saw,
it as a
I just
template
don't
for
know how to
everything.
do any of that. That's my thing is I need someone to help me. So I think John would probably be willing to help me with it.
He probably would. Yeah.
And he took all the pictures, so I would think he has the pictures anyway.
Yep.
Or just to walk me through it. I don't know. It can't take more than 10 minutes. I just don't have any
It
idea how to
doesn't.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can just cut and paste, for a Word document so that you've got a record of it. Create a Word document and just
Okay.
paste one of their postings that you like. Expand it, where it says see more at the bottom of the copy on like Facebook. Expand
Yeah.
it so that you can see the whole thing, copy all that, paste it in your
Yeah.
Word document, and then go in and replace their name with yours. Any copy changes
Oh,
you want to make, and then get the photo or photos plural of you,
yes.
you and me, you and others, and post
Yeah.
Word document. And then that becomes your source piece for anything you do on LinkedIn or on Facebook or anywhere else.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds simple.
cool.
Yeah, because there's already their postings were great where we're grouped together, and then there's, I know there's a picture with you and I together because you had us all do that in the front. So yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, and I've got, let's see, I'm going to go to, just a second.
Is it just the two of us today?
It is so far. Now go into these. Here we go. Oh, I did this today. I had some photos of me doing hot seats for a group of people in Portland about a year
Uh-huh.
ago. And I decided to post those and make that a promo for the concept of having me do hot seats as part of a keynote.
Oh,
And here's a
awesome.
very, very recent photo that came from when I spoke in Phoenix just before the conference we had, the summit. And there's Wisdom Parlor. Let's see. Oh, do you know Ivan Meisner?
I don't.
Ivan and his wife, Jody. Jody's the number one salesperson for Jack Canfield.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Ivan, who is the head of and founder of Business Network International, BNI.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So he made easily 75 million or more doing that. And this is his home. down the hill from me in Austin. So it's literally about like a mile and a half from my front door.
Oh, wow.
And he had me down there, and Tony Cranitti, we went down there and had some wine with him, and he toured us around and showed us his art collection, which is substantial. He's got 2 Rembrandts.
Wow.
Gives you an idea of what we're talking about. And then Tony and I went downtown to the Driscoll Hotel, and we went clubbing on Dirty Sixth Street, and we went to Antone's, and we watched this guy perform, do a little jet.
Yeah, I think I do remember seeing these couple of pictures. That's so
Yeah,
great. Oh, that's a nice picture
yeah.
too.
By the way, there's where I live in Austin, inside the circle,
Mm-hmm.
and that's from
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Here you go. There you are.
Yeah, that'd be a great picture to add,
That
huh?
is a good photo. Yeah. And let's see. There you are.
Yeah,
Me?
these are so good.
Yeah. That was
So
such a
fun.
good time. That was really
Amazing.
awesome evening. Look at Tony.
Amazing.
He is one of the funniest people I know.
He's great.
And
I really enjoyed my time with him and with Brian. So
yeah,
nice.
this
And
is
of
me
course with
telling
Joe.
Tony something and him correcting me.
I could totally hear him doing that right there.
Yep. There we go. There you
That's
are,
great.
top of the photo.
Yeah.
That's the A team right there. Here we go.
That's great.
That's another and another and another. Brian was so gracious to do that.
Yeah, really,
By the way,
really.
look at how tiny I am. It's like my day among the giants.
But you're really not, which is strange. I think they're just really tall.
But
It
he is
almost looks,
big.
that one almost looks photoshopped
I know it does, doesn't it?
because you're not that small.
No, I'm
Oh,
relative, as you can
development.
tell in this photo, relatively normal size.
Totally.
Yeah.
How did that happen in those
I
other
don't know.
photos?
But it sure did come off differently. That's a good shot of Jason. Yeah, that looks good. There you go.
Oh, yeah. That was wonderful to spend some time with him too.
Yeah, that was just that's Jim Jr.'s backyard, by the way.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
So perfect. They had artificial grass put down.
Hmm.
Planted these shrubs last year at chest height,
Wow.
and look how much they've grown.
That is fantastic for some
Isn't it?
privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
There's us again. That's such a charming place. Candor.
Excuse me. It really was. It was perfect. I love that picture.
I do too. And that one.
Yeah. These are great pictures.
In fact,
Paula
I
looks
like
good.
that one better.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful girls. Look at those two.
Yeah. Paula and I went to Balboa Park. There you are. That's a pretty outfit.
Thank you.
That was super, super fun.
It really was. It really was.
I think Michael and Lynn probably spent 3 hours in this mode right here.
Yes.
I went over to them and I said, hey, talk to other people. They said, okay, we will. I said, all right, but I mean, while you're here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, no, like now, like
Yeah.
right this moment
Yeah.
is what I'm talking about.
Yep. There we, oh yeah, you sat next to Greg. There you go.
Yeah. So Greg and I have been in touch.
Good.
Really made a good connection. And then another degree of separation, he introduced me to someone else who I'm now spending quite a bit of time with on breath work. So it's been really interesting.
I don't think we could have chosen a better location.
Yeah, that was great.
It worked out so perfectly.
Yep, it sure did.
Okay, end of that share. But I got to show you this. This is, we're shifting to a new subject.
Okay,
This is a mind map created for the purpose of designing my video sizzle reel. A woman named Kyra, Kyra, Ron, Rahn. She works with Vanessa Emerson in Phoenix and with the NSA Phoenix chapter, Arizona chapter, as a videographer. She's got her own business as a videographer, and she's amazing. And she filmed my entire presentation in Phoenix, and I sent her like 800 gazillion gigabytes of video and photos from my own archives from the past several years. And she is taking all that together and making a 3-minute sizzle reel.
great.
And so this is her mind map in doing it. So she said, okay, here's the plan, and I'm kind of reading this and interpreting as I go. But who's Jim Cathcart? Well, Jim, the speaker, and here are examples of him, wants to become, Jim, your mentor so that you become a certified professional expert. So that's the process. And of course, she used the tree metaphor. And then the hook, she's using a quote from Patricia Fripp: few names stand as tall among speakers as Jim Cathcart, blah, blah, blah. And she said, how do you want to be known? I said, as the sage elder that everyone wants as their mentor. And she said, okay, what do you teach? I teach, look in the upper right-hand corner, how to build and sustain a career as a leading expert. And then if you look at these notes under that, my book, What to Do When You're the Speaker, the Going Pro Mentor Program, Be a Leading Expert Mentor, Become a Magnet for What You Want. So Jim Cathcart's company is helping people succeed. That's been my motto since the 1970s when it was helping people grow. And then who's my market? Sales professionals, business leaders, entrepreneurs, success seekers. That's authors, speakers, coaches, consultants, performers, problem solvers. So that's it. And then over on the left is just a whole bunch of concepts and video clip notes to herself of what she has to use to weave all this together. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
Oh, that's so
I'll
cool.
of course share it with you and with everybody when it gets done. But those in this program will be able to see this and then anticipate it and then see the finished product.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And Cathcart website, as you know, got hacked. And I had 26 pages of Russian porn links put into my blog. Thank you for notifying me of that. And when I went to erase and delete, I deleted my homepage
Oh, wow.
and a whole bunch of other things that I didn't mean to delete. So I have to recreate my website. Well, I met a woman in Finland, I met a woman in the United States from Finland who does websites really, really well, speaks English, lived here for a while. And she did the work for the Dental Speakers Institute, Vanessa Emerson. So this is the second person that Vanessa referred me to. And she's doing the redo of Cathcart.com. And it's going to be really, really nice. And it follows the same kind of path as what you just saw. So I've got those two major things going on. And then Austin, of course, coming up as the next summit. And I'm going to be, I mean, you're paid up all the way through. So, you go all the way up to what, September 1st, right? You're already fully in advance paid for that. So,
Good.
the other people, most of them are expiring June 1st. So they'll be either re-upping or we'll change and have some kind of a different agreement coming up. But I'm enrolling new people in Going Pro right now, and I'll be taking them through the Future You and the, what one thing and all those other exercises that you went through early on. And by the way, now
Yeah.
would be a good time of year for you to go back and review those pages and maybe even answer a lot of those questions anew, because you've
Okay.
reached such a new point in your own career and your own consciousness that a lot of your answers might be different.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. And on that, and I don't know if this is the right time to do this, but on that note, if Linda wants to go to the retreat,
To the summit.
to the
The
summit,
reason I say summit rather than retreat is
okay, let me use
retreat
that.
is what we did, the short version here in Austin before. And I'm not going to do a retreat anytime soon,
Okay,
but I'm doing a second summit and making a much better deal out of it. Yeah,
okay, so
Linda,
I'll
her,
follow
her
the
fee
summit.
would be 5,000, the same as it would have been for La Jolla.
And then that's her month with you, with the group, et cetera, and the 4 days, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So she gets that event plus the month of September. And then if she
To have
wants
like
to,
a one-on-one call with you or,
yeah, it'd be helpful, but not essential, but it'd certainly be helpful for her.
yeah, I mean, during the month of September, she has access to you,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah.
okay,
And then if she decided to go forward, then that would be considered a
yeah,
deposit toward doing more. So that's cool.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just, we had such a good conversation about everything and she was very interested, so I just want to make sure um, and I'll call it a summit, so I just want to make sure I get
yeah,
her what she needs to, yeah,
cool. And as I get things more solidified, I will send them to you and you can pass
perfect,
them. And I'll be posting them online and such.
yeah,
Yeah, I was email talking with Troy Hoffman the other day. And he said, I think you ought to kick this up a notch. I think you ought to go big with this. And I said, so like where? He said, south of France. Hello. Well, that would certainly kick it up a notch, wouldn't it?
yeah,
Yeah. Spend the better part of a week in Provence with me. Okay. That, hey, there's a market for that.
sure,
And I'm not particularly interested in doing the Tony Robbins events, big, huge things with a auditorium filled with people. That's fun, but I'd rather do those as a guest who's on someone else's program. I want to do intimate sessions like we had in La Jolla
mhm,
and do 3 or 4 of those a year and let that be sort of the meat and potatoes of what I do, and everything else feeds that.
yeah, yeah, I like that. I think that's a great way to go.
Thank you. Well,
Mhm.
uh, anything particular you want to focus on beyond what I've already covered in this call? And the reason I ask right now is since no one else has joined us yet, what I'll do is if there's one other thing, we can cover that and that'll be good for everyone. And then we'll conclude, and then you and I can have our own conversation that we're planning on having anyway. Okay?
Yeah,
So any stones left unturned at this point that you can think of that we ought to cover for the good of the order?
that's a great question. I don't think so. There's nothing that's come up for me.
Okay. Well, I've shared mine and
Okay,
there's lots more coming, but it's all in the pipeline now. All right. So
Yeah, and I'm glad, it looks like that Thursday is gonna work for most people, so I think it's gonna be great. We're
yeah,
gonna have a lot more people, right,
yeah,
involved
I'm
in the
sorry that
call.
wasn't optimum for you, but
Oh, that's okay.
yeah,
It all works out. I mean, I
yeah,
was just so happy to see people say this is better for me. This is better for me. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
good. It'll be a bigger, more feedback, more support in the room.
yeah.
So I think that's awesome. And whenever I
David
can join, of
Newman,
course I will.
in 2020, I went to David Newman, who teaches how to do this. And that's his whole specialty is online marketing through mentorships. Um, I said, David, professional speaking dead during COVID, so teach me how to do your model. And so he signed me up for an 8-week course. And I went back through my notes recently, and I noticed that he was doing them at 11 o'clock Pacific, which would be 1 o'clock Central, um, on Mondays. But he has a whole week filled with them, like he's doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever.
Hmm.
And so that's what made me think Friday probably wasn't an optimum choice. All right. So happy June, everybody. Christina and I'll see you on the other side. I hope you got a lot of great ideas from today. And just give me a holler and whatever you need, I'm still here for you. Take care. Bye-bye.